Next, so we are on question 1C, the same paper that we are doing. Question 1C1, rationalize. Rationalize the denominator. Of each of the following. So this is 1, 2 minus root 3 over 2 minus 2 root 3. So before we can answer this question, I want to give you the basic 6 rules of Surds so that we can appreciate them in solving this question. The first one is, if you are multiplying root A by root A, we just get A. 2, if I'm multiplying A root B multiplied by C root D, this is going to be the same thing as A multiplied by C root B multiplied by D, like this. The third one is, if I have A root B plus C root B, this is the same thing as A plus C in brackets root B. So I will add the coefficients and then keep that root. The fourth one is, if I have A root C over B root C, this is the same thing as A over B. And then if I have A over A plus root B, or should I put a different number on top? Let's say I have C. I have C. Then you multiply down by A minus root B and up by A minus root B, and the result will be CA minus C root B over A squared minus B. And then the last one, what should be the last one? The last one, I'll just put the name one, maybe. Let me say A root B minus C root B. This is going to be A minus C and then root B. So if I understand this, you see how we use them. In one question, they might all be used. So we get back to our question. It's a fraction, and they're saying rationalize the denominator. So we'll use rule number 5. So we'll say we'll keep the numerator the way it is and multiply it by the denominator. We change the inner sign. We'll change the inner sign. So we'll multiply by root 2 plus 2 root 3. And then divide root 2 minus 2 root 3. And then multiply by the same root 2. We just change the minus to plus, and then 2 root 3. Now I want to expand. So as we expand, we use property number 1 and property number 2. So we have 2 multiplied by root 2. That becomes 2 root 2. Then we have 2 multiplied by 2 root 3. So this means I have 2 multiplied by 2 root 3. So what will happen is you say, what is 2 times 2? 4. And then root 3. Like that. So you do plus 4 root 3 minus, you do root 3 now multiplied by root 2. So we use property number, the same property number 2. So now these are 1, 1. So you have 3 by 2. Now because you have 3 by 2, you can multiply them inside, you get 6. So we'll get root 6. And then we now move to root 3. It is negative by 2 root 3. So first we apply property number 2 to multiply -1 and -2. We'll get -2. Then we go to property number 1 to multiply root 3 by root 3. So that it becomes 3. So we'll get -6. So we put -6 over the down one. Now we come straight to property number 5, where we just square the first one. So we'll square root 2. It will become 2. And then we'll square the plus 1 and then keep the minus. So we'll keep the minus. So we'll have minus, and then now square 2 root 3 multiplied by itself, 2 root 3. So using property number 2, 2 times 2, we get 4. Then you got property number 1, root 3 times root 3, we get 3. So that altogether we have 12. And then the top one is kept because we cannot add those are different things inside. So we can't apply property number 3. Because when you use property number 3, if they are same inside, now they are different. So keep them the way they are. So we have 2 root 2 plus 4 root 3 minus root 6 minus 6 over -10. So it means that we're done. So if you know these, you will never miss any question on this, on Surds. You can tell it to rationalize anything and you will do so. Anyways, how much I record, man? Okay, let's go to the next one. Sarang. Sarang, your hand is up.
Sir, what about if you don't multiply the roots there where you multiplied root 3 and root 2? Is it wrong or what?
No, it's just incomplete, but it's still okay. You can keep them like root 2 by root 3. Still okay.
Okay.
Then the second one, where most of you had challenges, x minus 2y over 2 the root of x over y minus 1. The question is rationalize the denominator. So you go to property number 5 and you multiply everything So multiply the denominator by almost itself. We're just changing the middle sign, plus 1. Whatever you do down, you also take up. You put brackets and then do 2 x over y plus 1. Then we expand now. So on top, x times 2, you get 2x, and then the root x over y. And then x times 1, we get x. Then negative 2y times 2, we get negative 4y, and the root x over y. Then negative 2y times 1, we get negative 2y. The down part. So now we're using which property? We're using property number 2, where you multiply the outside first. 2 times 2, we get 4. And then the inside, root x over y times root x over y. Use property number 1, you just remain with x over y. And then you can now apply property number 5. You just square the other part. So square 1, and the minus is reserved. Okay. So if there are no questions, we can now move to checking irrationality. We go to question 2. Question 2, part 1. Prove that 5 plus the root of 2 is irrational given that the root of 2 is irrational. We only have 2 types of questions from this part. The first one being this one, where they have mentioned that this root you are seeing here is irrational. So your work is not even complicated. You just do the normal thing. You say, let the whole given question 5 plus root 2 be equal to a over b, where b is non-zero, then a, b are integers, and a, b are coprime. When you say coprime, we mean that they do not have any common factor apart from 1. After you write this statement, then you solve, you make root 2 the subject of the formula. So you say, this implies that root 2 is equal to a over b minus 5. So you say 5 over 1, which implies that root 2 is equal to b a minus 5b. So then it's open. Root 2 is b a minus 5b. That's how. So once I have this is just from the fraction point of view. So if I have this, then you say, but root 2 is irrational First, a minus 5b over b is rational. Hence, the contradiction. And so, 5 plus root 2 is irrational. This one, the simplest, because you are already told that root 2 is irrational. So in terms when you're not told that root 2 is irrational, then you can choose to show that root 2 is irrational, and then use, and then get back to this. You first show it is irrational, and then you get back to this. You get the question correct. So in such one, it's not important to start showing that root 2 is irrational when you've been told already. There's no need there. Then I'll skip the other part and go to question 2C1, where we must express negative 5.231 in the form a over b, where a, b are integers and b is non-zero. Solution, you say, okay, let n letter even x be negative 5.231, like this. Because the numbers we have as decimal places, one of them is not under the bar. So we must move it to the left decimal place. So how do we move a number to a different decimal place? We multiply by 0. So you look for the zeros to multiply with. Since you're moving a single number, we multiply the whole thing. So multiply by 10. So that we have 10x is equal to negative 52.31 bar. When you multiply by a positive 10, nothing has happened to the negative. So the negative must be there. Then now multiply by 100, so that we move the two numbers under the bar to the left one step before we can do the subtraction. So it will become 10 times 100, you get 1000x, and then negative 5231.31 bar. At this point, so I can name this one to be equation 1, and then this one to be equation 2. So that now I say subtract 1 from 2. So I'll say 1000x minus 10x is the same thing as 5231.31 bar minus 52.31 bar. If you have challenges with minus, then do a normal subtraction. 5231.31 minus 52.31 bar. The bars will give us 0, 0, so that's the bar. And then 1 minus 2, you borrow here. Then you get 11 minus 2, 9. And then 2 minus 5, we borrow again. 12 minus 5, we get 7. Then 1 minus 0, we get 1. 5 minus 0, we get 5. Because the bigger number is one which are the minus, the other one became positive after multiplying minus by minus, which was a smaller number. So the answer has a negative. So on the right, we have negative 5179. On the left, 1 side minus 10, we get 990x. Then you're solving for x. You divide by 990. So we get x is equal to negative 5179 over 990. This becomes the solution. Not difficult and not too easy. Just moderate. So a task, express 3 plus root 3 over root 3 minus 1 squared in the form p plus q root 3, where p and q are rational numbers. Two 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 given that a is rational and root 2 is irrational. And a is not equal to 2. Show that a minus 2 over root 2 minus 1 is irrational. And then 3, express negative 2.5134 in the form p over q, where p and q are rational numbers.
But yeah, you say you haven't received it. You haven't received it. You haven't let me check. No.
Okay, so plus 75 minus 108 over 1 minus root 3 in the form P plus Q root 3. So these are just 4 questions, and this is 1840 on my time here. So I'll give you up to, let's do up 19 hours. So we're 10 here, including myself. So 9, that's not a big number. So I expect to receive 9 messages on WhatsApp by 19 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are very, very easy questions. So let's start doing them right away. And at 19 hours, we'll rejoin so that where I'll see issues, I'll comment. Mono.
I've got a question.
Okay.
On the other task you gave us last time, I sent you my solution. Then you told me there was a mistake somewhere. You didn't give me the correction because I've been trying to go through it. I'm not seeing where I went wrong. So I don't know how we're going to be tackling these my issues for where you don't understand. You are telling us the solution is not okay, but then you're not getting back. So I don't know how it's going to be.
Okay, so the whole week I was just very busy. So I could not follow up individual works, like where you're having issues. So I will start doing that on Monday, because I'm still finishing up the matching of the test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so by Monday I'll be done. Then I'll start following up in the inbox where we have issues from the week I give you, and then I also allow you to ask your own questions on the week that I've already done. So let's do this one. I'll comment at exactly 19 hours. So 19 hours we will join, and then I'll comment depending on what you're going to send me here.